Welcome to the Seven Sense Podcast.
This is a space to explore, reflect, and share.
Open conversations for the heart, mind, and soul.
My name is Edna and Njeri.
My name is Njeri,
and welcome to episode 1.
I think to start, I feel like it's something we have to put in so that we're able to as we move, we get to learn a bit more about each other.
Yeah.
So I want us to, the questions we wrote down, and I feel like we don't know who's gonna pick what.
Yeah.
And then, so I think you go first.
Yeah, okay, so if you could have dinner with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be? I actually haven't thought about this before. Who would it be?
I don't know why I asked you this. I also gotta get to see who you
my
pick.
mindset,
where it would be who you would choose to spend time with. You can pick both, dead and alive. You can mention both. Picking one is hard.
I feel like someone who's dead, I would pick my aunt, because my aunt is the person who inspired me to be into makeup and fashion. She would always dress me up. I would always play in her makeup.
Nice.
And I feel like talking to her now that I'm actually in the content space doing this, that would be so cool.
Okay.
And then alive, I would pick, who would I pick? I kind of want to say Travis Scott.
No way.
Right?
That's out of pocket, but cool.
I love Travis Scott.
I kind of see it. I don't know why I expected you to pick.
Some spiritual leader or something.
No,
that.
this even just a shorty, just
Oh.
I thought you're gonna say something Rihanna. Or...
I don't think I could have. I think I'd just be staring at her. I wouldn't even be able to speak in front of Rihanna. I'd just be but that's a good. I would definitely want to have lunch with Rihanna, but not me. If she was having a lunch and I was invited, we can talk, but it's not just us two.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but I would pick Travis Scott. I don't know. I just feel like he. Actually, I would pick Rihanna. Now that you've said it.
Yeah.
Now you've confused me. I would pick Beyonce.
So breakfast with one, lunch with the other, and then dinner with one. Just pick them like that.
Okay, I would do breakfast with Beyonce, because I feel like that's just how you start your day.
Okay.
I would pick lunch with Travis, probably have some lunch together, and I would pick dinner with Rihanna because I think that would be fun to dress up to go for dinner with Rihanna.
Cool. I get
yeah.
that. That's good.
Okay, your turn.
So am I answering that, or I'm picking?
No, you need to pick another question.
What's your favorite thing that you own and why? Favorite thing, I think, my headphones. Why is I like sitting in my own thoughts and in my own space. So headphones allow me just to. I feel like I live in a world that's not a part of the world. If that makes sense. I'm able to block out a lot of things. So my headphones for sure.
If you could live anywhere in the world for a year, where would you go?
Are you asking me or are you asking now? It's you to answer.
No, it's you to answer.
Funny enough, oddly enough, because that's what we talked about when I say Lamu.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the whole wide world?
Okay, whole wide world, that is.
Yeah.
Paris. I think I'd say Paris for sure.
Why?
One, I've always loved French.
Oh.
Even in high school, I did it all the way.
Yeah.
And then, just the culture, I feel like, I think I'd enjoy Paris.
Okay.
That's in my mind. And then of course, just Daisy and Kanye just put it in my head that as a black guy, just being in Paris and being able to spend in Paris is it's a rite of passage.
Yeah.
So I think I'd pick Paris.
Cool.
Paris or Lamu. I think for me. Yeah. I feel like I know the difference because the day they were cut.
Oh, yeah?
So it wouldn't be fair. I really wanted to ask you. Most nostalgic memory from your childhood?
I feel like Christmas at my shushu's, when we were all kids, everyone was young, the oldest cousin was probably in their teens, and the rest of us were really young, and my grandparents were both there, and
that memory is intact.
It's just so intact. It's probably maybe 3.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like my childhood is smoky. The memories are smoky. I can't.
That's so crazy because even he says the same thing.
Yeah.
And me, I'm I can literally distinctly think of a thought and see the people, what they were wearing, almost smell it. Is that weird?
That's freaking weird.
Yeah.
Not weird, but I feel like that's so. I envy people like you, guys who can actually go back to your childhood and actually be able to see it.
Yeah, I feel like the point of that segment was just for you guys to get to know us a bit, and for us to also get to know a bit more about each other.
Yeah.
And so now we're gonna dive into the main segment of the episode. And so for episode 1, we wanted to talk about happiness versus success.
I mean, dating back from me, just when you came up with the topic, I feel like for me it's a fundamental question, it's like, what is happiness, and then what is success, and does one outweigh the other, or do they go hand in hand?
Yeah.
So when I was doing like my research for this thing, I actually figured out, okay, fine, let me define first, let me check what the world says happiness is. So it says the state of happiness is a state of pleasurable contentment of mind, deep pleasure in or contentment with one's circumstances. That's happiness.
Okay.
And success is the fact that you have achieved something that you want or have been aiming for. Those are the two things, Success, happiness is, I feel content with where I'm at. Success is I achieved certain things I set out to achieve. But what does, for you, what does happiness mean? What does success mean?
Yeah, actually, I wanted to start by asking you, how would you define success for yourself? Like, how do you define success by your own standard?
I think for me, success is being able to achieve the dream I have, the vision I have for myself. Me seeing it through, that would be success for me. And I feel like that's how I want to define it. I feel like I can get caught up in success is, especially as a guy.
Yeah.
You're told success is you have to have X, Y, Z, and then if you don't maybe have 2 out of those things, you feel like maybe I haven't succeeded. So I won't lie, it's not easy to define it yourself, but I feel like it takes also a certain type of mind to stick to saying, this is what success means to me. So I think for me, success is that dream I have, seeing it through like in this reality.
Yeah.
That would be that's successful. Yeah.
Cool. I think how I look at it is pretty much the same actually. I think success for me is being able to wake up every day and do what I want to do.
That's true.
Not have to do things just for money or for anything.
True.
But just wake up and like have a full day of just living out my intention. Yeah, that's what success looks like to me, and being comfortable.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say that I want to be like a billionaire.
Wouldn't be bad, though.
I wouldn't even I feel like I used to aspire to that level of excess.
Okay.
But I think I can have luxury just by being comfortable, not having to stress about the small thing. Just knowing I'm taken care of.
Yeah.
If I do want to have kids, they're taken care of. That's also what success would be like.
But you find it hard, especially being around the circles we're in, and you see someone, I want to say, hit certain goals, and then maybe you're starting out, or maybe you're just in the same marathon, but they're kind of ahead of you in pace. Do you feel like kind of affects now? You start saying, okay, fine, if they've reached there, I want my success has to be more than theirs for it to be successful. Do you find yourself kind of comparing success in a sense?
I feel like that's something I do struggle with sometimes.
Okay.
But I think I'm also currently I don't see anyone in the lane I'm trying to get into, in some of the content I'm trying to do, and the direction I want to take it. So no, but I think someone, for example, like Wanuri is a huge inspiration.
Yeah.
Because it just shows you the possibilities are pretty much endless.
True.
So it's something that I've struggled with, but I think I'm just trying to be in such a different lane. I haven't really seen. I think it's something if you're a musician, it might be easier because there's X, Y, and Z singers who have done this and gotten this award.
A blueprint,
Yeah, but I feel no, I haven't really felt.
Okay.
The thing that I do struggle with is sometimes I feel wow, I have to wait till I'm 30 to achieve that milestone. You see the age, and I'm just yeah.
I get that.
Is it something you struggle with?
A lot. I won't lie. I feel especially because everything I do, I've always done it for just the passion and just for the fun of it. But then I see people collecting bags from it. I'm just oh damn, okay, fine. So should I take it a little bit more seriously? And then am I that serious because I'm not dedicated my whole life to just chasing this one thing? So do I consider myself an artist now? But I feel I've grown into my own now, and I feel I'll achieve these things. It's me to end of the day to decide. I stopped trying to look at what people are doing, and I'll celebrate people's wins, and I'll appreciate good art, but I feel I'm also not competing in a sense. Not sound cliche, but I feel just the marathon continues, so it's just everybody moves at their own pace, but it's who's gonna make it to the end. And that's what I want is just for everything I do just to last long, so I don't think I'm racing anyone. Yeah.
Okay.
That's for me that's how I look at it. Yeah.
I think that's interesting because the thing of competition and not clapping for other people, it's something that's so common,
Yeah.
where it's just like, why wouldn't that be me? Like that could be me, you know, that sort of feeling that like.
Yeah.
But I always feel like you never really know the behind the scenes. And I think a good way, like for example, when we've seen some of our friends, for example, do music videos or release projects,
True.
because we're friends with them, we'll know all the behind the scenes drama. But for someone looking from the outside, they'll
They're
be
just
like,
oh.
these people have it so easy. They just. So I always remind myself, if we took a ground, we're different. Like
Just the fact that you've said that, you know, you're putting so much perspective.
Yeah.
Because I've been sitting back and I'm just like, yo, I need to move like this, I need to do this because X, Y, and Z, and then this, and that. But now you get like there's certain things that actually also create the art behind the scenes. And so that's just, you've shed some light. I'm just like, that's dope. Yeah, we've said what like success is.
Yeah.
But what's happiness now?
Yeah, what does happiness look like?
To you, yeah.
Happiness to me just looks like peace. Like not having something in the back of my mind pestering me. Like I feel like when I have peace, like when I know I can just wake up in the morning and just like do my oil pulling, make my bed, meditate, just have like a peaceful day, not knowing. And also I think a lot of that peace comes, it's from within, but it also comes from knowing that people around me are good. I feel like I'm never really happy knowing, like, you know, like we had such a hard time in July, that threw me off, you know. Yeah, that's what happiness looks like for me. What about you?
To be honest, I feel like happiness is like elusive for me.
Oh yeah?
I feel like it's trying to catch a cloud. And I think I base it more off of the fact that, so for me, how I define happiness is being at peace, with just who I am and my surroundings, but also happiness for me is a picture I look at and it's like, you can have like a crappy day, but you're still able to smile through it. For me, that's my goal about happiness. Is it's easy to be happy when things are good, you get, but for me, happiness, the test is, can you still be happy when things are not working?
That's the thing, it's always an inside job. It's always up to you. It's never like, if it's based on external factors, you'll just lose it so easily. But then again, it's also never permanent. Like you can never be always,
and something I always play around with my head is there that end game where you get to and it's just like you'll be always happy? And see, for me, that's the goal. Is
I don't think
things can be bad, but you're still able to have that happiness and peace inside of you. So I feel like for me, that's the goal for me. Happiness is that, it's just whatever state I'm in inside of me is able to stand regardless of the storms outside. So I always ask, you know, do you ever get to that point in your life where that's it? That's the balance I'm trying to say or look for.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think you can get to a point where things don't bother you as much.
Yeah.
But I also think that being human, things will bother you. It's just how quickly you are able to move past them.
Okay.
So yeah, I do think you can get to a point where it's like, that happened, it's okay.
So for you, does happiness equal success, or does success equal to happiness, or they go hand in hand?
I don't think they go hand in hand. I think happiness comes first and then success.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I'm with that.
I don't think it's like I need to be successful to be happy, but I think if I'm happy, I can be successful. That's how I think about it.
So this thing I read, so pursuing success is meaningless for the soul if you do not understand your soul lessons. Meaning, and I feel like soul lessons are about evolving higher and higher in your frequencies. And I think that's what we're saying now, just we're not using those words, is the more you're able to bounce back, I feel like it's just the more you elevate your frequencies, the faster you would bounce back from all those things. And so I agree with you. I feel like happiness for me comes first and then success. I mean, we've seen guys who have, and I was telling someone, I don't think I need to go down that road to have all the money in the world. Of course, not all the money in the world, but just have money and then still not to be happy. So you chase this thing, but then you got to the point where just like, it's still not making me happy. I'd rather be happy with the things, with what I need, not what I want.
Okay, so then how do you make and keep yourself happy? Like on a day-to-day basis, what do you do to just stay on that positive vibration and frequency?
So this is gonna sound weird, but one thing I like,
though you said that just anyway.
So I can be having like a very like maybe not stressful day, but maybe my moods, because I won't lie to you, this like type of weather gets me.
Okay.
So I struggle even harder to get out of bed.
Seasonal depression is a real thing.
So for me, when I'm in bed, I go to YouTube and I watch cringe videos. like not weird things, like like maybe a reporter is talking and then one of them says like some weird thing, like people die
so
inside.
Interesting.
Like literally,
Yeah,
just like
like
people dying inside. So people just like react to the weirdest things. Just people do that, man. Like reporters, they report in the news. Someone pops up from the back, does some weird shit. That's what I watch because I feel like that's like raw comedy for me. It's not scripted. Of course, I'll watch like Key and Peely, but for me, I feel like that's so raw comedy. That's what I use like to bounce myself back. Okay, I'm like, okay, fine. I'm a bit happy. I have the juice to get out of bed. But my true joy is always learning something new every day. I try and like teach myself something new. So that's always the thing I'm trying to keep me like going. I wouldn't say I have a per se thing that I do
To keep
consistently.
you, or
every day
like,
to
is
keep
there
me
something
happy.
in your day-to-day routine that makes you happy?
Running.
Oh yeah.
And I know I haven't done it in a while, but just running.
And I feel like I can genuinely tell the difference in even your moods and how you describe your week when
Okay.
you are consistently
No
running.
way.
Definitely.
Man.
Versus when you weren't consistently running.
That's interesting. What do you do to make you like to keep yourself happy?
I love cleaning. I feel like just seeing things in order and
That's always been the way.
arranging things,
Wow.
like planning things, that really makes me happy.
Yeah.
Like just having some sort of order, that
Okay.
really makes me happy. Also doing my makeup. Like sometimes just getting cute for absolutely no reason.
Yeah.
Like I feel like when you look good, you feel good about yourself,
Okay.
and it's just like,
Okay.
yeah, I'm still that bitch. So I wish
I had that
enjoy
thing that you normally have. You know that thing of you're just like, yeah, I'm bad.
Yeah.
I don't have that thing. You get like I've never been. I don't know how to put it.
And you're a Libra.
I don't know. Like I feel like I'm such. It's like a humble stunt here, but I feel like
No, but I feel like you do.
you're bad, but you just don't feel like the need of. Like I envy you, like how you're able to carry yourself. I always want that. Like when I grew up, I always want that. It's just like how you carry yourself. I want to be that. But I don't know.
feel like you have that.
I sit back.
I feel
and
like
just,
you look at yourself in the mirror and be like,
I don't know. Like yeah, cool.
yeah.
Cool. Cool. But it's the way you carry it. I'm just like that's dope. But yeah, so I
Yeah.
feel like that's okay. That's how you keep yourself happy. Then cool.
That's how I keep myself happy. And then also I wanted to ask, so then with success,
Mm-hmm.
what's your day-to-day towards achieving that
Success.
vision you have of success?
And this is something I've been really thinking about the other day. I feel like maybe like 3 years ago, or even just when we initially like met, we started being friends, I kind of had like a idea, like a painted out idea of where my dream is going and this is what I want to be. But I think the more I've interacted with people, the more I've been, situations I've been through, I want to say like, the painting over there, yeah? The background is a clear painting, like you can see what the painter was doing. But then the splurges in the front, I feel like what happened. Like I muddied the dream as I went on. So my goal right now is just I want to make that picture a bit clearer now, and so which I'm really proud of. I went back into like just making beats, something I've always wanted to do, but then I didn't have the confidence to do it because it's like, am I gonna sound as good as, or will I be able to make it as?
The thing is, it's always gonna be trash at the beginning,
Yeah.
and that's okay. Because even I look back at my first videos and my first shoots, and I'm just like, I really thought I was hot shit.
Yeah.
What are those eyebrows? Like I literally like look at it and I'm just like,
But you,
and even some of these producers we love like to make the most whack house beats, and now they're like working with
like,
all these people.
You're like, yeah, cool.
I feel like just start.
I mean,
You know.
I have started.
Yeah, exactly.
But as you're saying, the first couple of ones were just like, and now where I've reached, I'm just like, yeah. I'm even confident to be like, you know what, I want to hit someone up, be like, yo, just please lend me this, give me a verse, because I think this can work. That's what I've got into now. But
Okay.
previously, my podcast would do that for me. So I feel like just curating music or creating playlists for me is something. I should have said that. I feel like that day to day, just exploring music keeps me in check, and that's why hence I always rock out with my headphones, even in the house. I mean, I low-key find like it's a bit standoffish, but guys get it.
Yeah,
like, and if I'm doing the
it's your
dishes,
moment,
this
yeah.
is just let it be. He's always on headphones, so I think music keeps me keeps me in a frequency that I like being on.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what I'm doing. Like making the beats is kind of pushing me, and my goal is to be on radio. I feel like I want to have like a radio. This to be a radio show or a show itself. Not saying that it's not now, but
Have a bigger
I want it to
platform
have
for
like
it.
like being on Apple Music. Just let it be there. So for me, this is a sense adding up to those dreams because that's what I want. I want to use my voice to share my experiences and then my taste in music just to spread vibes. Growing up, I would not have thought of that about myself. In my head, I was gonna be like, work what? Do insurance, work in a bank.
Mad.
You get so.
I
I
always,
didn't have this side.
yeah.
To myself.
I always thought I was gonna be like in business, and sometimes I think I'm like, if I knew I could actually go to school and study like film from a young age, I would be miles
Inside,
away right
yeah.
now. The business
Yeah.
skills and like acumen and certificates I have will still apply because now I'm gonna like be in production, but I know how to make the money from it. You know, like I have that business
side of it. You've been able to match.
Yeah.
I think that I always look at you and I feel like you've always been able to like marry, I don't know, like your dreams, and then you're able to strike that balance. I mean, being a Libra, I should, but I feel like sometimes I get outweighed by, honestly, quote unquote, reality. I feel like the people I'm always around, I don't know, I feel like I live in this dream world of mine that I want to protect so hard. That I don't allow anybody in to help me move along or figure it out. I don't ask people about these things because I feel like this is my thing, so I'll do it on my own until I figure it out. And that can be a hindrance to my success.
It's that thing where it's like if you want to do something, I don't know, if you want to do something, if you want to go far, you do it with people. If you want to go, there's something about, there's advantages.
If you want to go far, you go alone. If you want to go further,
I
think there's that thing.
Not,
I get that. I get. For me, that's why I look at it. It's my, I mean, but of course, Dad is like J. Cole, so just the way he's moved over his course, you work alone, do everything alone, and then you'll get there. It's always been how I want to do it now. But so there's this thing, and I find it so interesting, So survival for the fittest, or of the fittest. They said something about how that was like an animal programming, so that's why animals would eat the other animal because you know what, it's either me or you. And we've kept that thing moving. And we see it even now. So anybody will do anything to make sure that they achieve their success. Be it wrecking you emotionally, physically, financially, it's either me or you. That's why I beg to differ when now someone says success is everything. Because you see, success, me chasing my happiness or wanting you to be happy would never really infringe like on your peace, if I'm putting it correctly. But me chasing my success can also be in the fact that it's how you've been conditioned. So it's just, we can't win, which is changing. I'm not saying that's how people think, but I think we've been conditioned like that. It's just, for me to succeed, I need to get everything for myself first. But that mentality of we can actually do it together is not something I really, or grew up seeing, let me just put it that way.
Yeah, same.
So nice when I'm seeing people collaborating or people working together, but we can't say that about the whole world or people in general.
Yes, not everyone.
Yeah.
I think I see it with even the people I'm friends with, because I see how you fit in. Because it's like, you know, you sort of have a whole like ecosystem of people where it's like, if I need, okay, we have a podcast, if we need someone to do production or editing, we have someone who can do it. Him doing it will help him in his own way as doing the podcast. So that's how I sort of look at it now. But I think it's so funny because even when we were growing up, the teachers would always be like, even when you were growing up, the teachers would always be like if you drop, like you had maybe 4:45 and then you drop to 4:30, they'd be like, be your own competition, don't. But it's for real, be your own competition. That's the only thing. Like benchmark against yourself.
You said that thing, and so my bro used to be in Mangu. So whenever we used to go for visiting, their motto used to get to me every time, and I used to be like, this is so deep, but then I would not think that deep, but I'm just like, this is deep. It used to be Jishinde Ushinde.
That's vibes.
You get, so I used to be like, I want to get that tattoo. You get like Jishinde Ushinde. That's where I've come to now, especially with all my experiences. I feel like I have been able to get to the point where I feel like I've been able, not alone, but I've done most of the heavy lifting. So moving forward now, I feel like my success, I'll decide. My happiness, I'll decide, but it'll only make sense if the people around me are also happy. And that's something I just realized, it's like, you can't carry the happiness alone. So you can be happy, cool. He might not, and it's going to affect you.
Yeah.
We also have a responsibility to make sure your happiness is protected, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
So for me, that's what I'm putting those pieces together is your happiness is also my happiness. It's an energy we are shared. If you're going to go back like 5 years, did you ever see yourself here? And if you benchmark yourself with what you said 5 years ago, are you there?
I think in a weird way I am, in the sense that I always wanted to be in the content space. Okay. But I think I had a warped idea of needing to have X number of people with me to make it happen. Okay. Or needing to do it in a certain way. Cool. But I feel like I've learned this is just do it on your own, like do your own thing. That's fine. You don't need to So in a sense, I think like 5 years ago, how old was I? I'm not even gonna say. But 5 years ago, me, 2015 me is definitely proud of 2020 me.
I've always been about internal growth as opposed to external growth. And for me, and I've prayed, and I've always put out the universe that this is like, just because of Rain Star, was like Jedi training for when I actually get to my destination. So I feel like my journey is more about me being able to withstand everything that's going to come at the end of me getting everything I wanted. So maybe I was going to get like maybe whatever money I was going to get maybe at 2015. I was not in a mental space, emotional space, physical space to handle it. I feel like I'm being prepped to handle whatever blessings come my way. So I'm pretty proud.
Because there's this whole thing about how energy attracts energy. So if you're always looking for things to be grateful for, you'll just keep finding things to be grateful for. Vis-a-vis looking for, if you're always complaining, because I see so many people, and I even know people who are my personal friends that in such a negative mindset. Like you're really the only one who can save yourself, but it's like you're in such a vicious cycle with your own negative, and this person did this to me, and this I'm just not happy. And it's like, just start by saying like, I'm happy my lungs are healthy. There's so many things to be grateful for.
I get what you're saying.
And so that's something that I try to remind myself to just stay positive. And I think I'm a pretty optimistic person because of that. Because even when I'm in pain, and even when I'm like reflecting on like difficult memories, I'll be like, I'm happy that I'm able to see that now. I'm happy that I'm able to speak about that now. Sort of thing.
I get what you're saying. Like, just a natural, like, positive person. I chose, like, I decided. Because I've been through the mud, so I know how it feels to be there. And it's like you choose Matrix, blue or the red pill. So you pick one, and you can't make that choice for someone else. That's what I always believe. And
that's something I struggle with. I was always trying to save people. Always trying,
Same, like, you're trying to fix things. But
show them. Like,
and hence I got lost in the podcast because I felt now I'm getting kind of preachy now. Because it sounds like I know, but generally all I was doing is just sharing my experiences, and I feel like that's the only thing I can do. Is just share my experiences, and then we get to bounce, we get to get ideas from each other. So I get that thing when you're saying, you feel like you want to help someone, but at the end of the day they have to walk through that door themselves. I can show you the door, but
the thing that I think people see like and gets misconstrued is that it's never easy. Like, because some days I'll still wake up and I'll just want to be like, like I have a video to edit, and it's like already this time, and then I have to do. It's like really easy to get. It's always easier to just be on the negative side.
It's easier.
It takes effort. It takes effort and practice, and not every day will like be the most positive, happy day. But like, just give yourself, like, big up yourself for the small things. Maybe even if today you have only 2 things to be grateful for, it's still something. It's still something. You're still on the right path,
And for me, I'm just trying to like put it. You can be happy. You can only achieve the greatest or your wildest dreams if you are happy. And I want to stick to that. Like, I don't want to feel like I want to change my weddings. If you stay happy and you stay like committed to choosing your own happiness, you will find ways of appreciating your successes as they come. Because I feel like we look at success as this one big thing that drop, and this is it. The more you put effort to being happy, looking for things you're grateful for, you start seeing, oh my God, and then you go back to your journals. Maybe if that's for anyone who journals, I think I'm trying to get into that, but I'm doing my best. But I think like the more you appreciate those small things, you get to see, oh my days. So maybe 3 months ago I started pushing to be more happier. And then this thing came from the exterior, because I feel like success is more of an external thing. Which is the wrong thing to be. You don't need the outside thing to make you feel, okay, cool, I'm on the right track. How do I look at success? And how do I know I'm on the right track? So look at it this way. It's like you're driving down Mombasa, you're going to Mombasa. But unless you pass like, somewhere like Mtito, then you pass Voi, you're kind of on the right track to get to Mombasa. But if you start seeing like, in Kinangop, you just know, you're just you're outside. That's how I look at it. I look at success is that, like, this is the end game, but look for also these pointers to show you that you're going the right way. And I feel like that's how I want to do it now from now on, is let me start focusing. If I don't get triple plaque on the first EP I ever dropped, I'm not successful. Just being able to accomplish that one thing.
The fact that you did the EP and you put it out.
That for me is like, that's my Mtito day. And then I'm able to do something else. Doing this podcast, I'm just like, okay, cool, that's Void. I'm looking at all these things and compounding them to being. I'm grateful for actually, first thing, weird also again, I'm sitting in the job,
So there's a bucket. Now they sell sweets like in buckets, whatever. So it had this like wild message. It was like something about if you don't do, you can't tell if it's gonna be done unless you do it. So I feel like I can't sit back and say I don't know if I'm gonna be good at this if I don't do it. I need to do it first, and then you do it again and again. You get better. So that's how I look at success now.
Yeah.
It's just you're going to Mombasa, but look for also these things that are gonna show you on the right track.
That's a big thing actually for success. The choice, making the choice to just do it. Because I think either way, if you look at it, it's a choice. It's a choice to do it or it's a choice to not do it.
True.
And I think just doing it, and then you'll figure it out along the way, sort of thing. Because I'm like, we don't know what season 5 of The Seventh Sense will be.
True.
But the fact that we've done episode 1,
Yeah. Facts.
we'll get to season 5 when we get to season 5. Let's worry about episode 1, you know.
True.
But something I wanted to ask you in regards to happiness is, how do you get back to happiness in times of like pain or grief or like sadness, difficulty? Like,
So
how do you find
previously,
it
I never used to do it the best way possible. So I
Which
used
is
to
normal,
numb.
same.
So I used to numb the pain. I used to run away from the
Escapism.
pain.
Yeah.
And then I think things were brought to my attention, and I was able to see the fact that it's not sustainable, and it's not a healthy way of dealing with these things, and it always creep up. You can't hide always. So now I look at so my one is my running. I feel like I say it, but I know for me what it does for me. And it's literally I'm able to channel whatever I'm feeling inside. I'm able to take it out on the tarmac. I'm able to take it out on whatever distance I'm covering. So I feel like by the time I've gone and I've come back, and for me it's like a metaphor for me, like when I go and run, I feel like you still have to come back. So you can run, but you always have to come back. And that's how you deal with it. It's just like I try and run. It's never been easy, but I feel like also just being able to talk. So nowadays I feel like I talk more now to people in terms of whatever I'm actually going through.
Yeah.
I used to be so closed off from the world. I used to feel like I don't want to really share because you might get to really know who I am, and then maybe you would like what you see. But I'm like, I have to do it. And so I think that for me is just sharing and being physically active and also mentally challenging myself. I feel like with whatever I do, just trying to learn things, mentally challenging myself, physically being active, and emotionally being able to call myself out. If today I'm not feeling like I'm in a good mood, I'm just not in a good mood. I don't feel like I force myself through it. I feel like I want to go through that entire emotion, however long it takes. So if it takes a week for me to go through it, fine. I don't try and force it now. So I feel like you? Like how do you go through
I think the self-check-in is so important, because sometimes let me speak for myself, sometimes I'll just label an emotion sadness when maybe it's, what other word could it be? Maybe I'm in pain, maybe I'm disappointed, maybe I'm jealous. Like I try to just check in on myself and be like, okay, what am I actually feeling? Because I think once I can see what I'm actually feeling, then maybe I can try get to the root of it. Sometimes I can't even get to the root of it, but I just want to know what I'm actually feeling. So checking in on myself to just see how I'm feeling, and then trying to do the things to cheer myself up. Sleep is so important to me when I'm not happy. Like, I'm gonna sleep. One thing about me, I'm gonna sleep. But like,
cool.
Sleep, and then just trying to look at the positive things. Like I'll have videos of my friends on my phone that I'll watch, you know, videos of people, and like a lot of the time me just taking pictures and videos because I'm just like, I'll look back on this, you know.
Cheer me up,
It will cheer me up. Something I really appreciate is when people like send me positive feedback, like on Twitter DMs or whatever. I'll go and look at that. You know, I'll just try and like show myself some appreciation. And remind myself like, there's actually people who give a fuck. There's actually people I love. You know, try and just like do that. I'll probably like clean and arrange the whole house because that's my brand. Listen to a podcast. I'll just do little things. If I'm not trying to do anything, I'll just sleep. Maybe I'll put on some makeup to feel nice. I'll just like be like, okay, responsibilities chill. What do I actually want? Eat a whole cake. You know, like I'll do whatever
what you feel like
I want to do with no judgment.
Wow.
but I'll only the way you said you can let yourself be like that for a week.
Yeah.
The thing with me is I'll give myself a timeline. I'll be like, okay, you're sad.
Yeah.
You have 20 things on your to-do list.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
Don't do those 20 things.
Yeah.
But you have to do them tomorrow. So make you the most use of today. Be as sad as you want to be.
But tomorrow.
But the to-do list is just gonna be there. So
okay.
For that one day, I'll do whatever. I'll just like cuddle the whole day and eat a cake and watch something. Like that's.
Okay, that's how you deal with it.
That's how I try get back to me. Yeah.
So when you have like maybe people you're taking care of, your happiness stop being just your happiness now.
Yeah. I feel like I'm always so I don't know if scared is the word, but I'm always so aware of speaking on things that I haven't experienced because I feel like it can come off so hypocritical.
I guess
like, you know, you could be like telling people who have kids, just do what makes you happy. No. But it's like, what do I know? What do I know about that?
I know what I find interesting about my setup now. So I look at my brother. I know that whole setup. I'm able to live, I think, like 2 lives now. So I'm able to live my life, and I'm able also to see that other side and see, okay, fine, this is how these things work. And maybe, I don't want to say that I can speak for people who have like families and children, but it gets to a point where it's their happiness, in a weird way, ends up becoming his happiness. And I see it and I'm just like, it's amazing how seeing them happy makes him happy. And that's where he draws his happiness from. And that is able to push him to achieve more success, because I feel like more success for him means he's able to make them more happier,
which in turn makes him
more happier.
Okay.
So that's how I look at that dynamic of when you have a family, it's just it's a nice ecosystem, but as long as you have that understanding, I guess, and also just you guys work as a unit. I mean, that's what I'd say. I don't say I've experienced. I mean, I've experienced it.
Yeah, you actually have.
Yeah. So you know, I'm seeing now this flip side.
He doesn't have a kid, but he's experienced it.
Yeah, true. And I guess it boils down to also how self-aware, and have you had those conversations with someone? You know, did you sit down with your partner and said, okay, fine, you know what, this is where I want to be in the next 5 years, and where do we meet, and then where do we help each other, and then these are people in relationships. I feel like, you know, it's just your happiness also is. It's really not dependent, but it can be affected
by your partner
or influenced by your partner. Yeah, I don't know. Especially people who have partners who maybe struggle with depression, or certain things like mental health. It's a delicate place to be in, and I also want to have the self-awareness to be able to call myself out and be like, oh, you know what, maybe I'm weighing them down because I am experiencing this thing and I'm transferring this thing to them. Yeah, there's tiers to this happiness and success thing. So there's you as an individual, and then if you're in a relationship, there's your partner who affects it. If you have a family, there's that. It all starts with you.
Yeah.
If you don't have it set for yourself, you get lost.
Yeah. I feel like that's literally the most perfect way to end this episode.
Oh yeah? Wow. Happiness just states that we break the definitions of success traditionally conditioned into us, which makes us more helpless than peaceful with the choices we make in life. We need to pursue success to be happy, and happiness can come only when we can overcome our negative feelings through emotional management. I feel like sometimes I normally write these things, and of course it's never word for word, but we end up saying it.
Yeah.
Which I find
like
so
covered,
dope. We've covered everything. That's why I didn't even flip my pages. I'm just like, well, there goes that. I mean, we've talked about it. So we need to pursue our desires to be happy, but we need to redefine desires such that they lead us to feeling happy within ourselves and not have desires defined by others. And that thing you're saying is you has to define this whole thing. And even moving on, even just doing the podcast, I hope we're able to, you know, ensure that our happiness stays key, even becomes a safe space for us to actually be able to be happy, and then in turn make it successful. I don't want the success to be what we're focusing on. Yeah, I want us the focus, our success, I think, is to be happy doing it.
Exactly, and we always say this. It's like the podcast is like therapeutic for us because it's a genuine thing where we just sit down and actually talk.
Yeah,
and I really appreciate that, and I think as we share this with anyone who's listening, we hope that you feel like this is a space where you can think about these things, you can have these conversations with your friends, and hopefully eventually we can have a live space where our community is able to actually interact with us, and we can actually genuinely share. I think that's part of the bigger plan.
True.
So yeah, definitely our happiness is the basis of everything.
I think. So I think for me, I'd pick happiness for success. I'd go with happiness. Any day.
But also there's that thing of, would you rather cry in a whatever or cry
in a house in Runda or be
Yeah.
happy on a bicycle somewhere?
Yeah.
So this also that thing.
Yeah.
I think it's the way it's painted. You get.
Yeah,
I think it's the
exactly.
wordings that people choose. I want to be happy, and
Period.
I just want to be happy. Period. I don't know any other things on top of that. Is just.
It's a plus.
It's a plus. I just want to be
It's
happy.
always an inside job. That's
Yeah.
the thing. It'll always
It comes down
start
to you.
with you.
And I think that even just basically is that is you determine it.
Yeah.
I think, wow, that's episode 1.
Yeah, that's episode 1, guys.
That's dope.
That's really dope.
I was excited. Very excited to start doing this thing. So I'm glad that we started it.
Yeah. Please, if you're listening to this and you like it, please share it with someone. Feel free to subscribe. You can send us feedback. Our email will be in the show notes, so you can send us any feedback you have. And yeah, once more, my name is Edna Njeri.
And my name is Eugene Gashaga.
And this has been The Seventh Sense.